crafty people, this is Ellen with EGI Designs. Today we will be going over how to mass produce tiny cards that are great to include in a gift. Let's get started. I have a bunch of things already cut out and set and ready to go. I'm going to be using, this is edible eggplant from Gina, and I'm going to be cutting these out with this postage die. And then these little pieces I've cut the size that we need, and that is, that is from the 49 Market ARToptions Spice collection. And this die set is from Elizabeth Craft Designs, and this is the 2026 postage stamps. I'm also using the Gina stamp set, and this is the Frame and Flowers one. And I'm using the thank you and the flower stamp there. Let me show you what I have so far. Basically, when you're mass producing things, you kind of want to chunk them up into what you're doing. So I made all of the card bases, and then I went through and stamped my stamp on there. So then these are all set to go. These card bases, they measure 3 by 3 7/8. So you needed a piece that was 6 by 3 7/8 and score at 3. So I went through and just did that really quickly. I do have some envelopes already made, and I will actually make one with you today just so you can see. But the ones that I had made, I went through and I stamped that little flower on there. And it's super easy to do. You just put it, like, especially if you have a stamp positioner. So like in this case with the Misty, I just put them up in the top corner here, stamped, took it out, next. So you can do that part pretty quickly. What else? And then the same thing, these are the inside card panels. The size of this is 2 3/4 by 3 5/8. So I just cut these to size and then just ran them through one after another in my Misty. And then so these are perfect size for the inside of these cards. These little beanie cards, they're so cute. Yeah, I have some gifts I need to send, and I just wanted to put a little tiny card in there. So I thought I would show you an easy way to do mass production of die cutting. So in this case I have my Empress mini, but I do have the extended plates for this, so I like this. So what we can do is we can cut one background and one floral piece at the same time. So that saves us a lot of time when we're trying to mass produce things. So my wrist is bothering me a little bit, so I wanted to use, because this is a automatic machine, electronic machine, so it'll kind of save me here. But basically this one, you have to turn it on and then you have to hit run, and then you can just stick that through. And then it will turn off itself. But you do have to hit run every time that you use it. So now we have this. And we have this. And these are going to look so pretty together. Look at that. Like, easiest, cutest little card ever, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through and I'm going to cut all the rest of these out off screen so I don't have to bore you to tears with that. And then I will be back and we can put the cards together. Alright, got those all cut out. Originally I was thinking I would put on some of the laser cut wildflowers, or there's some butterflies. This is how I store all of my ephemera. It's on these sticky sheets and I keep them in a binder, and I love it because then I can see them all at once and look at what I have. And I can put a link to that video so you can see how to do that. But I'm looking at these, and I think because they're so small and they just look very like little pieces of art themselves, that I actually don't think we need to do that, but we can see how we go. Alright, so what I want to do is add the pieces to the postage. And this is a great little set from Elizabeth Craft Design. Okay, see, that just looks like a painting or something. I'm gonna speed this up and just put all these together, and then I will see you on the other side. Oh, I just wanted to jump in. My tape finally ran out. That was pretty exciting. So I just was going to replace this really quick, and I'll show you. In this case, so you just get these refills, and I actually have them, I get them from Amazon, and I get them on like the subscribe and save, so I can save even a little bit more money on that. And you just, there's little pegs in here, and you just line it up, and then shut it, and then you are good to go. And I will continue on. Alright, and now I need to get this off before it gets stuck to everything else. And so I just usually like whoosh it up and then use a an alcohol wipe. And cleans up wonderfully. I love this glass mat. Good to go. All right. So now we can go through and put these on our card bases. Just want to dry that off. And I'll just run through this really quick also and get them on the front of there. All right, all done. These are so cute and beautiful. They look like little works of art. And any pattern paper you have, you could, you know, just cut that and put it on the front of a little note card, you know, and just be strategic with the, you know, the position of the florals or whatever you end up cutting out. And then these just look like little pretty, very simple cards, you know. And once, I mean, when you're going kind of assembly line style, it makes things super easy to put together. So here are all our cutie cards. When I go to mail these or put them in the gift, I will write my message on here and then I will put it on the inside. That's what I like to do because I always mess up my writing, and I'd rather just mess up this little bit than my entire whole thing. I did stamp this with the edible eggplant so that the ink would match the cardstock background here. The card bases are Neenah Desert Storm, and it's 100 pound. The envelopes, I had made one, this was a Recollections 110 pound craft, but for such a small envelope, this was very hard to work with. 110 is usually what I use if I'm going to be mailing something, and these aren't going in the mail, they're just going with a gift. So I thought that I could go with something a little bit thinner. This is just the Neenah Craft, I think that's called. And I think it might even be like 65 pounds or 80. It's not hard to fold. It's not too bad at all. And I thought that would be fine since they didn't really need to be protected from the mail. All right, so I thought we could go over how to make this little envelope. I do have an app on my phone that is a calculator. I'm just trying to pull it up for the 1, 2, 3 punch board. So you put in your measurements, and you can put in, is it a 1-layer card, a multi-layer card, and then put in the measurements for that, and it'll tell you the paper size and the score line. So in this case, my paper needed to be 6 1/8, and then my score line is at 2 3/4. So you open up the door and you open up the arm here. I like to use a Cricut scoring tool as my scorer. I like the tip on there, and it doesn't usually you know, poke through the paper or anything, and it's really good. It gives me a little bit more control. So what you do is you come in here, and so our score line needed to be 2 3/4. So here's the 2 line, here's the 3, and here's the 2 3/4. So you punch, and then you draw your line, and then you turn it, and there's a groove here, and you can kind of feel where that locks in. And in this case, it is at 3 3/8. So then you punch that and draw the line. So when you go back to the other side, you're back at the first measurement. So 2 3/4. And then when you turn it again, then you are back to the other one. So the 3 3/8. Okay, so then you have a thing that looks like this. And on this punch board, on the back of it, it has a corner rounder. Okay. And then you need some, I like to use double-sided adhesive because I don't want glue oozing out and maybe getting in the envelope or anything like that. So you want to fold in on the score lines. Okay. So what I like to do is I like to put the bottom, the bigger flap on the inside and put the little flaps on the top, because then I can see where I need to place the adhesive. So if you look here, you can see that this is going to run right here and this is running right here. So you need to put the adhesive right in between. If you put it too far over here, it's going to be sticking to everything, and too far over here, it's going to stick on the inside of your envelope. So if you stay within this parameter right there, you'll be good to go. Alright, so I just had my double-sided adhesive tape. This particular one I'm using a 1/4 inch because it's such a small envelope. And then I like to put this here, and that's how I'm going to seal it. Since I'm not mailing it, you know, you don't need a ton. Normally you'd put it, this whole thing. Actually, what did I do on these ones? Nope, I left them. I just did the one down there. Alright, so you burnish this on a little bit so it's easier to get the release paper off. And I take a vinyl weeding tool and I just put it in there, and it the release paper comes right up, and burnish that down. And then now that it's together, I give it another press on the score lines. So we have our little envelope that is so cute. And I had left this set up already from when I did the other envelopes, but so if you had all these made, like what I do with the envelopes, I go through, I cut all of the paper, then I go through and I score all of them on the punch board, then I fold them all, then I tape them all, then once they're together, then I put them one after another in the MISTI. So I have that little flower in here, and I'm using the edible eggplant again, just so everything matches. And I really like to decorate my envelopes because I think it just adds a nice smile to the project. Like if I got this, I would be so excited. Okay. So now we have that. And we are good to go. So I'm just gonna let that dry for a sec. So we have our eeny beeny little piece of art here, and then we'll write our message and tape that in there, and then put it right in. Fits perfect. Write the recipient on there, and you're good to go. So I highly encourage you to use what's in your stash, but if you are interested in anything that I used today, I will list all of the products in the description box, and I do have affiliate links for those. And come check me out on Facebook. I post sales videos, cards, all that good stuff. Yeah, I think that is it. And anyway, till next time, like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and have an awesome day. Bye-bye. Here are a couple more videos I thought you might like. Thanks so much for watching.